What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. So sorry for the delay. Oh, man. Thought my mic wasn't going to work. Thought I wasn't going to have any audio, but here we are. We made it. We're fine. We're good. Everything's good. Hope y'all are doing all right. Hope things have been well for you this past week. If you're tuning in for the first time, I'm Perry. I'm the host of This Is My Bourbon Podcast, and if you're watching on Twitch, I'm also known as My Bourbon Gamer. Thank you for being here. On the road to affiliate status on Twitch. We will get there. But in the meantime, it's our normal old Thursday night stream. Kyle Whippert in the chat on YouTube. Good to see you, brother. Hope you are well. What a boy. Let me make sure everything's okay here. Let's bring that music down just a hair. Don't want it blowing your earballs out or anything. My goodness. Lots of stuff going on. Might be a quieter night for the people in the chat. NCAA basketball, opening day for baseball. General busyness. I understand. Living the dream. Dude, I am always living the dream. Healthy, happy, beautiful babies, beautiful wife. Get to hang out and drink some whiskey for a little while with some good friends. It's National Whiskey Day. We're here. We're live. We're alive. Could be worse. Brett the Knot is here. He says he missed last week, but he's here bright and early this week, even though I am late. And again, I apologize for being late. But my I was not getting any audio to streaming at all. My mic was on, my tunes were on, and nothing, and I mean nothing, was working. Not a dadgum thing. So, had to do a little quick update, and then fixed itself. Thankfully. I was very worried that it was going to be a lot more concerning than that, and it wasn't at all. So, fresh cork pop of Old Forester single barrel proof rye. That sounds awesome. It's okay, man. Oh, it's okay. Time is a man-made construct. You can convince me you're early. For some people, I am early. For some people, I am also extremely late, depending on your concept of time. Based on my estimation, I was late, but it was all technology's fault. So, who cares? Who cares? We're here. We're good. We figured it out. I'm not too concerned about it. Personal news, things that have been going on over the past week. We got a 6-month-old. Our youngest is 6 months now, which is crazy. Can't believe it already. I feel like just yesterday we were welcoming her is what I was trying to say there. Yeah. It's wild. We had a birthday party last night for Lucy's grandfather. He is 91 years young. 91. Which is insane. You don't meet a lot of people who are at least 90. 90 or older. And very, very crazy. Very crazy. So, quite the honor to know somebody that old. Also, Twitch, QUW923, thank you for the follow 3 days ago. Appreciate you. Not sure where that follow came from, but I do appreciate it. And like I said, we're on the path to affiliate here on Twitch. We will get there eventually, I am sure. Also, the wife and babies are home tonight because we had that birthday party last night. So if you hear any stomping around or whining of small children or dogs, do not be alarmed. There's not a... My address was showing. I'm sorry. There's nothing irreverent happening in the house. It's just normal life, just normal life, as it were. But yeah, let's get something poured. I need it. It's time. Oh man. Well, since we're doing rare character stuff tonight, I forgot my Found North sample. I'll get to it here in a bit. I'm going to have a little rare character single barrel. This is a 6 year, 7 month KI3? K13? I think it's K13. Barton distillate. 120.76 proof. I cannot say where exactly this pick comes from. Under penalty of penalty. I would get in trouble. By the man himself. Chade. So, I shall remain silent on that. Nice little light, fresh tobacco. Good amount of oak, even for 6 years. Dogs are nuts, man. Telling you. Telling you. Hopefully you can't hear them too much, but they are up there barking. It's I mean, they're there. All right. Let's get into it since we're a little bit behind this week. Also, if you would like to support the show while we are here, not just for 10-Bip Live, but also for this My Bourbon Podcast, first of all, you can do so by heading to patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. Is the character truly rare? Extremely. The rarest of them all, Kyle. The most rare it's ever been. Anyway. You can head to patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast and support the show for as little as $1 a month, little as $5 a month. Get you bonus content every week, including early access to podcast episodes that come out every Wednesday, but the unedited, uncut version of the podcast comes out every Tuesday before the main edited episode comes out. And then also, if you want to support the show while we're here live, you can do so by heading to the Stream Elements link that is pinned at the top of your chat, or by heading to the link in the description below and doing what we call Snuffy Chats. It's in support of the patron saint of 10-Bip Live, Mr. Snuffleupagus back here. Oh, Snuffy. I do believe he is there. You cannot convince me otherwise. We're going to cover some news before we get to the reviews, because it's been a busy week. This is fresh. This just came out today, as of National Whiskey Day. Bardstown Bourbon Company has won big at the World Whiskeys Awards. World Whiskeys Awards feels unnatural to say, I feel. Feels uncomfortable to say out loud. But on Wednesday, 26th of March, the global winners of the World Whiskeys Awards 2025 were unveiled. The year's awards took place at the world-renowned The Waldorf Hotel in London. And two Kentucky companies took home global awards. Bardstown Bourbon Company was honored as Global Brand Innovator of the Year, while Estes PR was honored as Global PR Team of the Year. Of course, they've got master distiller Steve Nally, who is a member of the Kentucky Bourbon Hall of Fame and has enjoyed a more than 50-year career in the bourbon industry. Meanwhile, Estes PR has represented brands in spirits and hospitality for more than 20 years. And this is Dan Calloway, their VP of Product Development, and here's Steve. And I've had the good fortune to interview Steve at least once on the podcast, and one of my favorite stories that I get to tell, having done the podcast, is from within the first year. It was what became episode 50. And I was invited to Bardstown Bourbon Company to interview their then CEO, president. I can't remember exactly what he was, but the original founder, of course, too, David Mandel. And they, brought out drinks and food and everything and wanted to make a good impression. And he said, we're also going to have Dan Calloway. We're going to have a couple other folks come out and sit with us as well. Steve Nally's going to come sit down too, talk about what we're making here at Bardstown Bourbon Company. But he's finishing up a meeting with Jim Rutledge. And I couldn't believe what he was saying. I couldn't believe that Jim Rutledge was in the building. And I said, well, would it be possible, since Steve is here, Steve's such a legend in the industry, could we also get, excuse me, I don't know if I said that right, but since Steve is such a legend in the industry, could we also get Jim to come and sit down with us as well? And David was like, yeah, we could probably do that. And sure enough, for the 50th episode of the podcast, here we are talking with folks who were on the cusp, on the cutting edge of innovation in the bourbon industry, with this new big brand that was so exciting and so creative and hadn't quite made a name for themselves at the time, Bardstown Bourbon Company. But they were, being led by Steve Nally, this veteran of the industry, and just this extra little cherry on top, Jim Rutledge sat there, and they were talking about, everything that they had done innovatively throughout the years and everything, and where they saw Bardstown Bourbon Company going, and what drew Steve to come into Bardstown Bourbon Company. But anyway, if you haven't listened to that episode, I highly encourage you to. It's one of my favorites, and just such a sweet spot for me too, especially the fact that in 2018, with I cannot believe that episode 50 got to be that special. But anyway, go check that out. It's just very exciting to see Bardstown Bourbon Company getting these kinds of accolades, in such a short span of time, for them having been around. And this is not to disparage anything either that Estes is doing as well. We've worked with Estes in the past, too. They've helped us at events like Bardstown Bourbon Company. They've helped us with sourcing for media reviews, getting interviews as well. This is our friend Tracy right here, accepting the award, standing with the award, too. But just an incredible representation of folks who are working in Kentucky and being recognized on a global scale, not just for creating spirits, but also representing spirits that are made in the Commonwealth. Just incredible. Absolutely incredible stuff. There was a picture. Where did I see it? Hang on, let me find this real quick because it was really funny. I might have seen it on Instagram. Yeah, here it is. This was Steve out at the pub celebrating after the awards, drinking a pint of Guinness. Just thought it was awesome. Tony back at Donuts. Hello, Pear Bear. Just got home from the eye doctor. I can see again 20/20 vision. LOL. Wild Turkey Jimmy. 70th anniversary. Cheers, Tim Bib. Cheers to you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Glad to hear that you can see. That's good news, my friend. But yeah, I love this picture of Steve doesn't split G's. I guess he doesn't, man. I think he could though. I think if you told him, if you told him that you were challenging him to split the G on the Guinness, he might take you up on it. But just a great picture. Absolutely fantastic. We're going to talk about some new releases as well as some TTB labels as well. Iconic Distillery unveils tropical twist with new Jim Beam pineapple. Got a new flavored beam product, pineapple. Jim Beam pineapple, 65 proof. There's a lot of weird stuff happening at Beam right now. I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. I know this is not for me. This new flavor is our first flavored spirit in 4 years and reflects the bold, vibrant spirit of today's South. Here's Split the G sounds like a rap diss track. It totally does. Here's the other thing about the Beam pineapple. With all due respect, if I actually had that kind of news, I wouldn't be sitting down here. I'd be driving a car and probably straight to Kentucky. And remember, I said with all due respect. Here's the interesting thing to me about this being announced in 2025, about this product being a thing in 2025. We're seeing currently in the market, we're seeing an erotic rap song, an increased emphasis for people who are drinkers on ready-to-drink RTDs, ready-to-drink cocktails. So, your Jack and Cokes that are already in the can, your, you understand what I'm talking about. And these flavored spirits are just one step away from being an RTD. Peanut butter pineapple seems weird, to be honest. This is, a product that could hit that mark for people who, again, are kind of making their leap towards being bourbon drinkers. Eric and I talk all the time about how we drank, American honey, Jim Beam honey. And that was what kind of slowly got us into being bourbon drinkers. It's an abomination that will never live on my shelf. I mean, it is strange, but it's not to say that there isn't a market for it. Perfect for any occasion, versatile cocktails. Jim Beam Pineapple is designed with versatility in mind, offering a range of refreshing cocktail possibilities. One suggested combination is the Jim Beam Pineapple and Lemon Lime Soda. Jim Beam Pineapple and Lemon Lime Soda, served over ice with a slice of lime. For those looking for something bolder, the Pica y Piña blends Jim Beam Pineapple with lime juice, simple syrup, jalapenos, and a tahini rim for a spicy twist. Whether you're hosting a summer barbecue, enjoying a front porch gathering, Jim Beam Pineapple is the perfect drink to bring people together. Keep your pineapple off my pizza and out of my bourbon. I'm curious. I want to try some of these cocktails. I think it would be interesting. Again, 65 proof, $20 for a 750. Do those peanut butter whiskey brands use Beam? If not, they're missing out. I don't know, but I feel like that would be an interesting or an appropriate way to attack it. Either way, though, I mean, this is just not for me, but I can see it being a cool, like, oh, I'm going to take this to the beach or whatever kind of bottle. Make some fun little I don't know. I don't want to read through the taste tasting notes of this, but Booker's has just revealed their, and I believe it should be on shelves by now. Their newest batch, rather. It's called Barry's Batch. And I believe it's named after another one of their employees, former employees. 125.7, not just employees. Excuse me. He was a Beam chairman and CEO. So very cool. 7 years, 2 months, 4 days, 125.7 proof. We'll see. I for anybody who missed the review last week, I did enjoy Jimmy's batch. So I don't know if Barry's batch is going to hold up. Is Jimmy's batch my favorite batch of Booker's? Definitely not. But it is what I consider to be just good high proof bourbon. Very much in the vein of something that that Jimmy Russell would have made himself and just considered, appropriate as good sipping whiskey. Why will this ad not close? All right, never mind. Doesn't matter. But with how inconsistent Booker's has been recently, my hopes are not high. So we'll see. My hopes are high, however, though. For the new Buzzard's Roost signature double oak bourbon, which we will be reviewing on the podcast sometime soon. They are bottling the media samples sometime in the near future. We'll be reviewing it alongside their French oak finished bourbon. Since the beginning, all of our whiskeys have been double oaked. Our new signature double oak bourbon was finished in our own bourbon casks, resulting in layers of flavor that make this bourbon one of our most delicious and approachable yet. Why come that article mentions the price of Booker's? There's at least one characteristic of this creation that'll help ensure such. Priced at $100 a bottle, Booker's exists as one of the scant few limited edition bourbons that you can still find. I think it's not just that it mentions the price, but it's like praising the fact that it's $100. I mean, this is very likely a review that was paid for. You know what I mean? So, I mean, they're not taking a critical look at the fact that it's $100 now. What's going on, Max? With the headline? At an exceptionally good price? Oh, I see what you mean. In the headline. Booker's is fine, yeah. But, I mean, it's not an exceptionally good price. Yeah, I see what you mean now. It's just very straight. I agree. I understand what you mean. It is strange that they definitely are not watching this, or excuse me, reading this. Let me try this again. They're not writing this article with the intention of being hypercritical of the history of Booker's in a way that somebody like myself or anybody in my position would be, right? We don't have a stake in... We're not... It's very likely that this was a paid review. Joe, the sample guy, what's going on? Cheers all. The like button looks lonely. Yes, please hit the like button if you haven't done so already. I don't want to complain because there are brands putting out boutique 7-year products at a similar price point. That's completely fair. Beam does pay either with money or other for reviews and spots frequently. They do it in traditional media a lot. Yeah. The one time that we've been sent Beam products, we were not paid for it. And we also were not sent anything afterwards. We were not particularly praising. We didn't give high praise for the Bookers that we were sent. We gave a lot of praise to the Knob Creek 18 that we were sent, though, so. We've not been sent anything since then. I don't know. Hyper Age Beam is still great. I completely agree with that. Completely agree. Yeah, I think that, this is not Men's Journal. I was mostly using this article as a place to, yes, like the stream and Bookers. Thank you, Anthony Arturietta. As a place to, get all of the information in one succinct area, as opposed to take a critical look at it. We can take a critical look at it ourselves. We know the critical aspects of Bookers because we've been around in this space for a while. But yeah, I don't count on Men's Journal for, high thought when it comes to Tony joining me 3. When it comes to, observing the ins and outs of what makes the bourbon market tick in particular. There's not a lot of think pieces being written in men's journals about how bourbon trends have operated over the past 5 or 6 years, I would say. Imagine Hardin's Creek at cast strength. Oh. Injected it into my veins. Please. Anyway, back to this Buzzard's Roost info. Joe P. Also Joe the Sample Guy. Since the beginning, all of our whiskeys have been double oaked. Our new signature double oak bourbon was finished in our own bourbon casks, resulting in layers of flavor that make this bourbon one of our most delicious and approachable yet. It's a lightly charged and precision toasted barrel for optimal flavor extraction. $45 a bottle and 100 proof. I like that this has kind of been their method. Also, 75% corn, 21 rye, and 4% malted barley. I like that this 100 proof and $45 price point has been kind of standard for a lot of their general offerings that are not limited. It seems that this is your alter ego. I figured as much. It seems like that's going to be how they continue to release standard offering products moving forward, which I don't mind. I think it's a good move by them. Excuse me. So let's check out a couple of TTB labels. The first being, where'd my mouse go? There it is. The new Parker's Heritage label that we just caught wind of, the 19th edition. 11-year-old American Kentucky Straight American Whiskey, I think is what it should say. But it says American Kentucky Straight Whiskey at cask strength, 122.5 proof. 15-year-old wheated bourbon, 11-year-old corn whiskey. Wheated bourbon, 11-year-old corn whiskey, and 12-year-old whiskey made from only 2 grains rye and malt. This blend was created by marrying each together post-aging, and the resulting whiskey is a sensory experience unlike any other, where the earthiness of malt and the sweetness of the corn whiskey are unified by the 2 spices and nuttiness that the wheated bourbon imbues to the blend. And yes, 11-year aged mellow corn. Very excited for that, to be a part of this. We missed out on getting to try last year's Parker's Heritage. I'm not sure what happened to our sample from Heaven Hill, but hopefully we'll get to try this one. Any of their hyper-aged stuff, especially at cask strength. I'm a fan of it. I can't complain. So we shall see. The new Russell's Single Rick House we found the other day. Sure, it's going to be another $500 a bottle or whatever these are. This year it's going to be Camp Nelson E, and it's not just Single Rick House. It's also a single floor, which I don't think they've done before, if I'm not mistaken. But it's Camp Nelson E, this rick house, and then only on floor 5. And at 128 proof. This definitely intrigues me. I'm definitely curious about trying this at least. But I cannot imagine that I will be finding a bottle of this. And even if I did, I highly doubt that I would be grabbing one for myself. And then last but not least, New Riff announced the other day that the Silver Grove releases are coming back. It's a nod to both the area's distilling past and to New Riff's future with the distillery's warehouse in Silver Grove, Kentucky. Product sale proceeds from the release, which have totaled nearly $62,000 to date, will continue to support the Silver Grove Community Foundation. Bourbon was distilled in Newport by New Riff, aged 4 years and barreled at 110.3 proof with a mash bill of 60% corn, 35% rye, and 5% malted barley. The rye was aged 4 years and barreled at 110.2 proof with a mash bill of 95% rye and 5% malted barley. or malted rye, excuse me. And next Friday is when they're going to be available for $55.99 each. It said they were both barreled at 110.2 proof and 110.3. I that might have been a typo, unless are they bottled in bond? No, they say they're barrel proof. So where it says barreled, it might mean that they're bottled at 110.3 and 110.2. But I'm not sure. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. But either way, last year's Silver Grove was incredible. And I look forward to getting the chance to try these as well. Newport is not exactly a quick trip, or else I would have liked to have gone up and, grabbed one of each. Either way, though, wait. Kind of bugged the New Riff is still releasing 4-year products. Same for the Wilderness Trail single barrels. I mean, I don't mind it. I understand what you're saying. And hopefully they, start putting out older single barrels as well. But I still like the 4-year-old product that they are putting out. It's not like it's not 4-year-old product that tastes so distinctly young that it's undrinkable. You know what I mean? Like, it would be one thing if it were it'd be one thing if it were unbearable. But I like what they put out. It was never bad. Yeah, that's the point. But I know what you mean, though. Like, it's being teased with the fact knowing that they have older stuff. And why can't we just have some of that? This is great. But this. New Riff is doing 6-year single barrel picks now in addition to the already occurring 4-year they have done. New Riff unlocked the... Oops, hang on. No, I did not mean to start that. New Riff unlocked the secret to making solid young craft whiskey. Yeah. Agreed. Is New Riff even really considered craft these days? Like, honestly. Do they have enough product to be considered a non-craft distillery? Thank you, Jason. I feel like they're not craft by KDA standards. There we go. They're so borderline based on production. Yeah, I mean, if they have enough aging, then, I mean, technically they wouldn't be craft. Are they on a push to reach all 50 states? I didn't know that. I mean, I would hope so. Ideally. It's what you want for them. It's where you want them to be. All right, let's. Oh, my camera froze. I think it might be about time to update the camera. I can get a lot of their stuff here. That must mean they're closed. Yeah. Jason, also, what's going on? Jeffrey Wack, hello again, Whiskey Friends. Hello to you, friend. Hope you're doing all right. Excuse me. All right, let's get these reviews going. And we'll start with our guys from Rare Character. We got batch 25-1 or 25B1. 119.26 proof. It's 70th hit the spot. Now it's time to retry Jimmy's Booker since you keep twisting my arm. If I insist. And it's just straight bourbon whiskey. Distilled in Kentucky and Indiana, aged in Kentucky and Indiana. No word on age. I could ask our buddy Chad, of course, but sometimes you just gotta leave things a mystery. Sometimes. And then batch 2, 25B2. Is 121.46 proof. Also Kentucky and Indiana. And 25B2 was just announced. Well, unofficially announced, I suppose, today. So, we're early. We're early. I'm going to start with batch 1, of course. Lower proof. There is a very just familiar experience with batch 1. That kind of reminds me of those like early days of getting into bourbon, finding some of that craft stuff that you really like. It's a little bit higher proof. Not gonna blow you up entirely, but just incredibly, incredibly solid. And I think one of the fun things about having tried all of the limited release bourbon editions, all the batches from Rare Character, seeing the progression, seeing Chad's evolution as each of these have come out, it's so interesting to me because they've all just changed so drastically. And none of them are quite like the other either. But anyway, 25B1. Let's see together. Malty, sweet, kind of oatmeal raisin cookie. There's a lot of spice midway through the palate. Kind of goes towards more cinnamon on the back end for sure. Just heaps of caramel icing. Toffee, butterscotch. Just a very, very sweet bourbon. It's really good. Got a good amount of alcohol on it as well. Not to blow up Chad's ego, but he's killing it. He absolutely is. And I know he's going to watch this and he's going to go, "You're blowing up my ego." But we're not trying to. It's very good. A little bit of nutmeg, a little bit of clove. Slight bit of like honeysuckle too. It's a very, very complex. Oh, and like bitter, kind of like a bitter dark chocolate. But just a very complex whiskey. Just incredibly, incredibly complex. I dig it, man. It's like I knew my water was down here somewhere. I had a drink of it already. All right, 25B2. I got an ounce of the 25 batches from Mr. David Levine of the Whiskey Ring Podcast. Speaking of which, get your bottle of Yak Attack from BCS. Yes, do get a bottle of the Yak Attack. There's a link in the description on YouTube. Please, please, please. I'm not even sure how many bottles we have left of that pick, but it's a barrel rye Armagnac finished pick that we did with the Whiskey Ring Podcast. And it's very good. One of my favorite picks we've ever done for the podcast. The nose on batch 2 is a lot softer. I had some while listening to an episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. A lot more cherry syrup forward. French vanilla. Honey's there too. Yeah. The reason I did this, if you're watching, I kind of did this motion with my finger like something was unraveling. And it's not to say that like the palette was unraveling, but it's almost like a spool of yarn where it just like keeps going through this like, and there's this and there's that and there's boom, 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 boom. And it, like, it starts as this very like, hold on, let me take another sip because it's so interesting. Because that cherry is like the first thing that hits you, and then it goes into like this graham cracker, and then like it kind of starts to transform into a s'mores thing, but it leaves behind the graham cracker, and it's more like vanilla and marshmallow. And then it goes back to cherry, and then it goes like more chocolate, and it's just this progression of flavor. And then some of the alcohol starts to hit you. And you're like, where's this going to go next? And then it goes into the baking spices, and it's all just very like, yeah, it's unfolding. I think it's a much better way to put it, Tony. And it's almost gone, which means I better hurry up and get mine before they are. Yeah, I need to get another bottle or two as well of Yak Attack before it's all said and done. Here, let me pop the let me pop that link in the chat too for anybody who's curious. Come on, keyboard. And it's at an incredible price, too. Maybe you should go ahead and pop that shirt off and sell some more bottles. I will not. That would not be happening. I'll show a little, like... Here. There's some, like, chest hair. How's the chest hair? I hope you know that's an Always Sunny I do know that. I do know that's an Always Sunny reference. But I was also maintaining my own dignity and letting you know that that would not be a good idea for anybody. Okay, I also I needed to make sure that you could actually click that link. I think if I had to choose between the two, I think I'm leaning more towards batch one. And you would think it still works for Lucy. You are not wrong, Tony. That's why she stayed with me for so long. This summer, Lucy and I will have been together for 15 years. Justin Deering, what's going on? I finally make it to a live stream again. Hey, Perry. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're well. David Jeanette, too. Hey, y'all. How's everybody? Just swinging by to say, hey, good to see you as well. Goodness gracious, what's happening? Hadn't heard of your Barrel Rye pick until now. Ordered its Bourbon Night. Also has a Nashville Barrel Co. pick releasing tomorrow, so now my budget is shot again. Well, I'll thank Tony for that. And I feel like I mentioned it on the podcast a lot. I just need a sticky note that says mention it more. So that's on me. But Brett, you're gonna love it. It's an incredible pick. Go listen to this in my Bourbon Podcast. I'm nowhere near current on podcast episodes. That's fair. Love them both. Think I'm going with batch 1. It's got more dark flavors that my palate tends to lean towards. Somewhere around number 100 currently. Dang. I gotta get this Found North sample bottle. It's going to be really funny, Brett, when you get to like us reviewing, you know, a movie that came out in like 2021 or something. I haven't heard the main episode this week. 2 days of Doctor screwed me up. Hey, that's completely fair. I get behind on podcasts too, dude. I am not infallible. All right, so we are on batch 11 of Found North whiskey. This is their, you know, what would ostensibly be called their main line. Even though they don't really refer to it as such. I'm going to pull up some information. Excuse me. About it as well. And I'm also going to go ahead and pour it. I'm going to pour a little bit of batch 10 too. Because it's been a hot minute since I've had batch 10. And I wanted to try them side by side. Batch 10 is a minimum of 8 years old. And comes in at 123.8 proof. But as you saw, batch 11 comes in at a minimum of 18 years old. And is 125.8 proof. I'm going to give it just a second to kind of rest in the glass as well. And I tell you what, give me just a second here. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to look at the information for batch 11 together. Blend components. Oh, 120. 129.8 proof. Why did I say 125? 129.8 proof, sorry. Grain ratio, 91% corn, 8% rye, 1% malted barley. Blend components. 18-year corn in new wood, 18-year corn in ex-bourbon, 20-year corn in ex-bourbon, 23-year corn in new wood, 24-year corn in ex-bourbon, 24-year corn in new wood, 19-year rye in ex-bourbon, 19-year rye in ex-bourbon, and Peregrine First Flight New Wood. Key component cask is a Peregrine First Flight New Wood. MSRP is going to be $165. And if you are interested in grabbing a bottle as well, the lottery for it is going to be, I believe, April 1st. And it's going to close on the 3rd. And then it's going to go nationwide on the 4th. I'll pour some Helldivers. Such a great name for a whiskey. And I'm not as sour on the Jimmy's batch now that it's had some time. I think it opens up incredibly well. But I also loved it. Not loved it, but I really did enjoy it on my first go. Give me just a second. I hear the dog whining. I'm gonna let her in. So I'll be right back. Sorry. When the dog whines, you gotta let the dog in. All right, let's start just to get things warmed up for some Canadian whiskey. Let's start with batch 10, just to get things rolling. Such a delicate nose. It's almost exclusively caramel corn. It's very nice. A little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of black pepper. Oh, but there's a lot of mint. A lot of clove. Gets a little creme brulee as well. Especially midway through the palate. How would you describe Fountain North? Are they closer to a hyper-aged Finnish whiskey? Or I've always been curious. No, there's components to their products that feel aged, but not so much in a way that it takes away from the overall just integrity of what goes into it. And I know that this is coming from somebody who's been sent their products to review, and I mean this genuinely. I wouldn't I wouldn't say this or give as much airtime to their products if I didn't feel this way about what they do. But I do sincerely feel like they take enough time and craft when building their products that you don't lose the sense of like even if it is finished. And again, it's not like a bunch of, wild finishes. But that being said, like, when you look at something like the high altitude collection, like Peregrine, yes, there are some products that are finished in like ex-cognac barrels, but they don't overpower the whiskey itself. It's all a very good, well-balanced experience by the time everything's said and done. I think personally, and like their mission statement, quote unquote, has always kind of been, and if you go and listen to the episode that we did with Nick, their founder, he says as much too. Nick, one of their founders. He is directly quoted as saying that they pretty much set out to create a Canadian whiskey brand for bourbon drinkers. And that's always kind of been my experience with their products as well. Not to say that they aren't approachable just as Canadian whiskey, because I very much think that they are. But you're not drinking anything that is like very intensely going to feel like it's off profile from what you might identify as, bourbon or a rye that is more in the American whiskey category. That being said, this is still, of course, not American whiskey. And I mean, I think it's worth exploring for sure. Yeah, they're different. They're a very different experience. Now the cat's yelling. Dog, my house sometimes is just like a 3-ring circus. Like, exactly. This Helldiver is 15 years finished in sherry and cognac, but it's not overdone. The whiskey is still at the forefront, but that being said, it is Canadian, so 15 years doesn't hit the same. Yeah, exactly. Like, the 15 years, the 20 years, they all kind of hit the more like 10-year area. Some of the like double-barreled, some of the finishing kind of elevates that a little bit. But again, it's all very well balanced. It's not over. Nothing feels like it's skewed in one direction or anything. So. Knox is not a saint. Berlioz is our sweet boy, though. It's spelled. That's how you spell our other cat. His name, Berlioz. Also, Papa Ritter is here, everybody. Hope Papa Ritter's doing well. Happy opening day, Papa Ritter. Cardinals were in a rain delay. I don't even know if they... Top of the ninth. Or no, bottom of the eighth. They're up 5-3. Take it. Oh, double headers. Love it. All right. Let's dive into batch 11. So the benefit of high-aged Canadian is more so the oxidation and less so the oak impact. More so the oxidation, so the oak impact. I would say so, yes. Because you are getting a higher aged product that produces more yield. But it's definitely nowhere near as oaky as like an 18-year bourbon would be by any means. I mean, this is an 18-year minimum product, right? And it looks to the naked eye, and again, you're seeing it through a camera, but to my naked eye, it looks more like it would be a 8 to 10-year-old bourbon. Honestly. There's a lot of alcohol in the nose on this one. But it's delightful. Are those batches finished? The only finishing that takes place with the batches, as far as I know, is in like just wood, just like oak casks, not necessarily like a spirits cask, but some of them, it shows like here. We'll look at it again. Like some of them are, new wood, some of it's ex-bourbon. One of them is actually, you know what? Peregrine First Flight new wood. Let's read this again. It's composed of 6 corn components, 2 different ryes, and lastly, a single new wood cask of Peregrine First Flight. I will have to go back and ask specifically what they like. Is it just a barrel of the Peregrine First Flight put into new wood? That's my assumption there. Yeah, it does age similarly to how Scotch ages, for sure. For sure. And it will burn your nose hairs. Opens up nicely, gets a little floral, gets a little candy sweetness. But there's so much just ethanol on the nose too. All right. Cheers. Let's go. Let's get in. Let's get twisted. It starts hot. It starts hot, for sure. The dryer's running. Get twisted. R.I.P. Twisted Tea guy. Here, real one. The dryer's running and something bobbed around that sounded crazy. What was I about to say? It starts hot. It really goes into this like ears just started ringing. It wasn't coins. It sounded way heavier than coins. It goes earthy. It goes floral. There's some kind of like stone fruit flavor too. But overall, it's an incredible palate. And it's every bit. It's not Marie. I just let Marie in from outside. If she somehow jumped into the dryer, like opened it up, jumped in, and it started on its own, I'd be impressed. I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed. Oh, Chicago for a game and some Malort. Oh, Papa Ritter has to have Malort sometime. I don't mind Malort. What's the Malort phrase? It's Malort, I'll have another. Jepson's Malort, I'll have another. I haven't had Malort, but I love Chicago. Jepson's Malort unaired commercial. Hold on, I'll show. This video is very funny. Let me go back to if you haven't seen this. Oh my, hang on. Why is it? Oh, why did I mute?
You take it.
And then you take it.
And you say, I'll have another.
Wait, I say that after?
Yeah. All right, ready?
Who's Jepson?
Jepson's Malort.
Here it goes.
I'll have another.
Here we go. Jepson's Malort. Oh my god.
All right, ready?
What is it?
The line is...
So good. Oh. They did another one with a line of guys and here it is.
The line is, Jepson's Malort, take the shot, I'll have another. Ready? Jepson's Malort.
Someone turned on the stove. Oh.
I'll have another.
Jepson's Malort.
Oh.
Yeah, you got. I'll have another, eh? Get away from me.
Jepson's Malort.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, my moccasin. I'll have another.
Why does it taste like
Okay, stop it. All right.
This is Jefferson's Malort.
Damn it, God damn it. Jepson's Malort.
Jefferson's Malort.
Oh, my God. I'll have another.
I don't think he wants another. Hey, Antonio.
Oh, fuck. I don't want to do this. Okay, let me get a good stance. Jepson's Malort.
The line is Jepson's Malort.
I don't think
Take the
that
shot.
Malort is
I'll have
that
another.
bad. Personally, I don't think it's that bad, but I love that video. Anyway, good stuff. We're all over the place tonight. I apologize. Also, St. Louis Cardinals with the first home game win of the season. First game of the season they win. Are they lightweights? It kind of seems like it. I'll have it. Kyle, you kind of looked like you might. You kind of look like you might fit in that video. I don't know why. Did you party with those guys? Mets lost today? Oh, sorry. I'll have two. I really don't mind Malort. I really don't mind Malort. There are much worse things. They're definitely here, Timo. The Mets are already done for the season. Oh, goodness. I'm going to have some more Found North products here in a second. But I got to be honest. I think all of the batched products from Found North are fantastic. This batch 11 is just a fantastic offering. Just delicious. High proof, man. I can't talk the talk and not walk the walk. Go have some Malort there, Tony. Should I have something? Go have something there. Don't tell Chad I can't get enough rare character. I can't get enough rare character either. Are you kidding me? The man, like, is the... never mind. I had 1 ounce left in aged and ore from my trip to Chile, so down the hatch. Hey! Oh, where should I go? Where should I go? I'll go I'll go for some more Peregrine. I can't get any rare character. Jason, do we need to get you in the RC Clubhouse group so you can spend way too much money on bottles? That's what I mean by I can't get enough. Like you can't get any. I'm drinking on, I believe this is the first Peregrine release. Peregrine First Flight. From the High Altitude Collection. And this should be the second one. If I'm remembering correctly. I already have too many ways to spend too much money on bottles. Jepson's Malort. I'll have another. I have this stupid Scotch habit to support. Luckily, I don't have a Scotch to worry about. Jepson's 21. Jepson's 21. I'll have another. Wow, that wasn't so bad. What happened? Barrel-aged Jepsons. Aged Jepsons. Hang on. If you find the barrel-aged Malort, I'll take all of it. I like Jepson's bourbon. Please don't tell Malort they'll just waste barrels like Fireball did. R.I.P. trees who sacrificed their lives for cinnamon whiskey. Which one, the MGP or the Dickel? I guess I only tried the MGP. Because I don't remember trying Jepson's bourbon that tasted like Dickel. Wait, this says... Tony... This says Indiana and Tennessee blend. Also, what is happening? What? Hello? Why is everything highlighting? Stop highlighting. Why is this website is broken, dude. Wait. You couldn't even see it. Okay. Look at this. I highlight one thing, and then everything else highlights. I can't click off of the highlight. I also can't get to anything else. You have to go back up to the search. What on earth? Who built this website? Wait. My mouse wheel isn't working. What's my mouse?
Body head! Throughout the history of men, the legend has been told of a shattered god, the body head!
Please. Jeez Louise. Jepsons, we run your computer now. Literally nothing is working. That's so annoying. I can't scroll at all. My mouse has just given up. I just got this mouse. I can move around with it. I can't scroll. I don't know. We're doing great. Great things are happening. Great things. Like, I just bought this mouse. Oh, it's not that website. It's my mouse that's not letting me stop highlighting everything. Is something stuck? Tech issues with Perry. This is fun. This is so dumb. Whatever. Anyway. Can't win them all, I guess. Or any of them. How we doing? How we doing? We're doing great, aren't we? The best thing, so many things. Double checked, I have 2 MGPs. One of them port finish, which I'm pouring now. Post Helldiver. I'm doing great. Thanks. Thanks, Dad. I think I'm going to have to restart my computer after I'm done because everything's freaking out. Nothing's working the way it's supposed to. Everything's being highlighted now. I can't. This is falling apart, dude. I'm going to the bar. I'm going to the bar. I can't do this anymore. Try turning off. Dude, I did. I'll do it again, too. Have I tried unplugging it and blowing on it? You know, I hadn't thought about that. Bring your own whiskey. It's expensive at the bar. Yeah, I can't. This mouse is busted. And I literally just got it this week. So, gonna have to overnight a new mouse. Terrific. Use protection. What do you mean ignore? No. You can't just drop in. Kyle. You can't do these two things do not belong in the same conversation stream. Oh, you know what I was going to try? I totally forgot about it. I blended batch 1 and batch 2. I blended batch 1 and batch 2 of the rare character things. Hey, Mouse Fund. Thank you. Anonymous tipper. I know who it is. If you want to say who you were, go ahead and say it in the chat. I don't know if you meant to be anonymous, but thank you for the Mouse Fund. ridiculous. I wanted to try the blend of batch 1 and 2. Blatch was my mother's best friend. Heck of a woman. Ooh. That's amazing. Wasn't me. No, it definitely wasn't you, Tony. The old school mouses with the roller ball, when they would pick up that layer of crud off the mouse pad and stop working. Fun time. Oh, yeah. Blatch's mom has got it going on. She's all I want, and I waited for so long. Blatchy, can't you see? Anonymous. Oh, that's good, Anonymous. Hello, Emily. Good to see you. Also, it's kind it like. Oh, you meant like a rollerball, like on the bottom. Yeah. Oh, those sucked. You cannot say Blatchy. Okay, fine. I won't. This is so dumb. Everything is highlighting, and I am too scared to understand why. This thing is so stupid. Everything has failed me. All of the systems have failed me all at the same time. Those mice did suck, but now you can't weird your friends out by telling them you have to go home and wash your mouse's balls. Oh yes, Kyle. I'm in the weird place now. Our Swedish friend didn't join us tonight. Malort port finish is good. Oh. Good to know. We learn something new every day. They say that we get every day we get closer or further away, but I feel like every day we get a little bit closer. Could you imagine? No. I couldn't, Tony. Honestly. If I'm being frank. And don't call me Shirley. Okay, I think I've got... Oh, I fixed it. I had something stuck. How did that... What? Something on my keyboard. I had a command button stuck on my keyboard. I'll never learn. I'll never learn. You think I would by now, but I'll never learn. Never beaten the sticky keyboard allegations. It's so funny because, like, as soon as I figured out what was wrong, as soon as I figured out why I couldn't do anything, I lost viewers. So it was like people were waiting around to see what the resolution was. And as soon as they found out, they were like, I'm bored. They gave up. I don't come here for the bourbon content. I come here for the drama. Sure, peanut butter, right. Sure, peanut Perry Bear just scooping handfuls of honey like Winnie the Pooh. Oh, it's something about honey. Where's my honey? That was tight, piece. Always stream with compressed air, handy kids. Oh man, that was heck of a way to end. Heck of a way to spend the past 15 minutes trying to figure out why I couldn't scroll and why everything kept getting highlighted. I wonder if this will work now. Yeah, look at that. I can actually... Oh my goodness gracious, look at this. Was that Herbert the Pooh? Maybe. Look at this. I can actually scroll through the Jepson's website now. Yeah, look, they got 100 proof, they got 90 proof, they got a single barrel program, cast strength, barrel finished program. Selected by. Oh man, this is incredible stuff. Just spectacular. Compressed air handy. Well, on that note, it's 9 o'clock, and we're gonna start wrapping things up. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. As always, this has been a crazy stream. It's crazy, just crazy, you know. I appreciate you guys as always. Next week, I don't know what's gonna happen next week, but we sure do love you here at Tim Bib. Thank you for all your support as always. I thought that would automatically summon Will. I kind of hoped it would. Hope the Cats make it out of tomorrow's NCAA game. We'll see. I doubt it. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of faith in that, but we'll see. We'll see. And I will see you next week. Until then, though, I'm Perry. This is Tim Bip Live. Listen to next week's episode of the podcast as well. Listen to this week's episode if you haven't done so yet either. I love you. See you real soon. Bye-bye.